Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour for this, what day is it? The 28th or 29th of May, depending on where you sit on the time zones. My name is not Andrew Barnes, my name is Andrew Albury-Dor, and we are here to say a thank you and farewell to, down there, Andrew Barnes, the developer advocate extraordinaire who would normally be running this show, but is not currently. So thank you for your time. Let's kick it off. Let's go round the big circle, starting with Jace over here. What are we all drinking?
Well, I never have anything really prepared. I just have water in this awesome bottle. So good old H2O.
High quality H2O from Jay's.
Nice.
For myself, I am drinking triple espresso because it is 6:30 in the morning in Australia. I have been up for 45 minutes getting the cats together. It's too early for me to really put a coherent sentence together. So I'm going to pass on to Mark over this side.
Thanks for putting the hot seat to me. Or I'm sorry, is it Mark Scott or Mark Roll? Like I can't tell.
The other Mark Roth.
All right, there we go.
And while we're going, I forgot. Let's do some introductions as well while we're talking. Everyone knows Jace. Everyone knows me. Mark R?
What's me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just another ServiceNow developer, I guess, and I've got in my Aussie stubby holder. I've got 2 Cooper's Pale Ale left. So having another one tonight, and then next week the last one.
Nice. Andrew?
I'm
H2O, that
other
is
Andrew.
about to H2O that is about to get empty. So I need to refill that as well.
Awesome. Well, Andrew Barnes?
I'm Andrew Barnes. I thought you said me last time, but I was wrong.
Yeah, sorry.
I have a pure decadence, which is an imperial stout, and it's too dark for me to read any more of that. So that's what I get. And I'm the person leaving.
Yes. Goodbye. Hello. Thank you for getting us together, but don't leave, please. But too late. So, yeah. Mark. It's Mark Scott.
Hey everybody, I'm Mark Scott. I'm a developer architect at ServiceNow, and today is my day off, which is awesome. I took an extra day off, so I'm having a margarita today. It's a little melted, but that's okay. I'll still drink it.
Thank you. And Earl?
Hi, I'm Earl. I am the chief meme generator of the group. I serve no other purpose. And I am drinking aged bourbon from a flask.
Perfect.
I have not ate a single thing today yet, so let's see how this goes. We're gonna play. I'm gonna personally be playing a game that whenever Andrew talks, AJB talks, I'm just gonna drink. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start asking him big, long questions. So be prepared to top that flask up.
Okay.
Chuck.
Hey, Chuck Tomasi from ServiceNow, senior developer advocate, blah, blah, blah. I've got a Kona Brewing Big Wave Golden Ale.
Awesome.
That ought to hold things down.
And Brad?
Brad Tilden, developer advocate at ServiceNow, and I have a bomb imperial stout aged on coffee, cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, and chili peppers. So,
wow, that's a lot of flavors.
It is a lot of flavors.
Awesome.
That's what she
said. Casey, I feel sorry. Before we jump to you, I think we've lost Andrew.
That'd be a shame.
There he is.
He's still there. Okay.
We
Sorry.
did?
What's new, right?
I'm just here to make Earl drink.
Oh,
we did lose.
Oh
Andrew
man.
Barnes.
Yeah. So sorry, Casey, you go.
No problem. So I'm Casey Varela. I'm a senior engineer, but most of you guys know me from the Slack. I'm one of the admins there, good friend of AJB's, and just hanging out. I could have been a developer advocate this year, but I slacked a lot, and I'll get it next year.
You only Slack too much if you're asked by your boss why there's so much network traffic to Slack.
But I actually got kicked off Slack in my office network, so.
Awesome.
And just water because I actually am in the office right now.
All right. Is that it? I think Andrew, you changed positions on my screen, and now we're going to do you again, Andrew Barnes.
Okay, I'm Andrew Barnes again, and I've got a pure decadence imperial stout from Barcelona. I can read it now, and it's got more words on here, but they don't matter.
Great.
It's delicious.
That is perfect. So thank you all.
And
Wait, did we get Drew?
did we? Yeah,
we
got
did.
Drew.
Yeah.
Yep. So now we'll go back to Mark Scott, whose second screen is at the very end. Hello, Mark. What does
He's
your
not going to talk to you.
avatar gonna? No, he's not. Okay.
He's not going to talk to you. No. And so I have all of my streaming set up on my personal computer, and then my corporate which has the Zoom account that we're all using needs to be on. So, it's the kind of quality that you come to expect from myself and Andrew, be it a podcast or a live stream. It's this kind of half-baked reality that we live in.
Yeah, it works.
Nice.
All right. So to get us started, Andrew Barnes, give us an overview of what your new job is and why you left
Awesome.
us.
So I am moving to the product success team in platform product management, and the title is outbound product manager. Wow, Earl, that's something. and as seems with my history, part of my job will be to describe what my job is, because the title doesn't really do it alone. spent
Wait, what was the
a
title
lot of
again?
time describing what a developer advocate was in my 2.5 years doing it. But the new job, I can boil it down pretty quickly, which is I'll be pairing with our top customers, so ServiceNow's top customers, to help them get more use out of the platform. And generally that will be in a multi-week engagement where we'll have check-ins and so we'll make a plan, and then we'll check in on it and adjust it along the way and help them get to whatever objective we're trying to do. In the near term, what that means is citizen dev programs. So expanding the ServiceNow developer footprint at customers by helping them onboard developers that aren't in their core center of excellence team. So that's what I'll be doing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That
That is so cool.
That is a good description as well.
Yeah. It's actually the role that I came from, except totally different.
Yes. Yeah, that is actually a really good description of it. It's totally the role Brad came from before he joined the developer advocacy team, but not the same at all.
Very
And
Because
which
the
branch
whole org
does
has
this-
completely changed since then.
Which branch does this fall under now? Because you're switching from one to another.
Yeah, so right back to where we were in January, which is back in platform product management. So my great grand boss will be the same one I had in January.
Wait, is that a thing? Do people say that?
I've
The great
been
grand boss?
doing it. I like
okay. I Chuck's like no.
it. Chuck's like, no, but
But I've never heard it.
I have only
like
ever
it.
heard
I
Andrew
like calling
say
it my boss and my grand boss. Like it makes it. I don't like saying boss's boss. Like it,
It makes us
Now I
Jesus
want a
name.
family tree of bosses. I want
Yeah.
to know what makes a step boss. Or a
yeah,
boss.
and so I've got so one of my favorite ServiceNow people is going to be a cousin.
That means you can't date them, right?
Yeah, we can't.
Can't marry him.
can't-
Yeah.
Well,
I
That's
mean,
okay.
It depends on the state.
And it just makes people with big paychecks sound really old. All right.
Great grand boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
big
right.
paycheck.
So for the next section, I'm thinking we might we'll start with probably Brad and Chuck, and we'll sort of say, oh, how did you guys meet Andrew Barnes, and how have you found working with him? Feel free to be very truthful. So, Brad, you've been working pretty much side by side with him for a while. Do you want to start?
Sure. I think we first met at a knowledge, probably. I think that sounds right. Probably at a knowledge. I remember talking at a knowledge before you were a ServiceNow employee. So that was probably the first time we met. But yeah, in my previous role, we were in the same org. At that time, the groups were in the same org. So we would interact a little bit, and then we joined forces as developer advocates. And I mean, working with Andrews, I would love to have some funny, crazy story, but I've been working with Andrew. Has been delightful. He's really easy to work with, and always there to help out. And he's fun to be on calls with, because you don't have to worry about the call going off the rails, because he usually won't let it. And that is one of my favorite things about working with him. But yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brad doesn't get to have any. So the previous dev advocate, Dave Slusher, and I got to travel quite a bit. But since he joined right at COVID time, I just went on my first trip since COVID. And I took my Knowledge 16 bag. And the thing I took out of my Knowledge 16 bag was the plane tickets to Austin to go see Brad, to onboard him to our team. And I hadn't used the bag since then, which was February of last year. And we didn't get to travel at all, which was very, very disappointing, because there is lots of fun to be had with traveling and visiting our community of ServiceNow developers. So he hasn't gotten to do that. Like, I visited Jace a couple of times in this role, and I haven't actually traveled to see Earl, but we should have, but we didn't get a chance to do that. But yeah, you missed out on that.
Just for anyone watching, I noticed Earl's username has updated, and I appreciate that.
Seriously.
All right, Chuck, what's your history with Andrew like?
Well, I was serving a 5-year sentence for a hit and run.
Oh, that's great.
He was my cellmate, Block C. Yep.
And every Thursday night we would.
That's a shanking joke, right?
We would start coding on ServiceNow.
Of course, in the library.
You can make up your own euphemisms for whatever you want on that, but wide record has a new term now.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah, thanks, Mark, for that little sound.
You're welcome. Yeah, I told you it's only going to get worse.
The story is very similar to Brad's. I think I met Andrew. The earliest memory I have is he was at Knowledge passing out the SN Dev Slack stickers, and I went, huh. But it was, I also appreciate Andrew from the standpoint that when we're on a call or whatever it is, he says, how can I help you with that? There's never a hesitation to jump in and pitch in. Even though we're all very busy, Andrew seems to have just that little extra gift to give for helping out.
Yeah, that sounds right, Chuck. I think passing out ServiceNow stickers and buttons was probably the first time we interacted. I'm not sure
Seven-
which one that is, but yes, that sounds right.
Awesome.
I think it might have been a Now at Work at some point, but Knowledge Now at Work, same thing.
I feel like we were meant to meet a couple of years ago and you got sidetracked somehow, and I ended up meeting Dave back in the day.
That is very true. Yes, I was supposed to go to Australia for the Now at Work, and also Japan. But yeah, it didn't work out. They did the Australia one and the London one at too close of a time, and so we couldn't do both. And I was supposed to do the Australia one, and Dave was supposed to do the London one, but he really wanted to switch, and I wanted to go, but my desire to sit on a plane that long is not great. So I'll do it. But if you give me an option for a closer flight, I'll probably take it, even if I really want to. And Dave was really passionate. And so I swapped with him because he really wanted to go. So yes, I ended up in London and Dave ended up in Australia, which is great. But I will make it to Australia for sure. Just don't know when.
Yeah, it might be a while.
Sydney release? Oh no, it's San Diego.
Yeah. I've already had that conversation with many people. Like, bloody, why is it San Diego? And then they're like, well, ServiceNow was started there. I'm like, well, that's a good reason, but I still wanted Sydney. All right, what about, people have changed places, so we'll go again. Mark R., how did you know Andrew, meet him, anything like that?
Oh, I didn't. I haven't met Andrew in person yet.
I don't think so.
I was supposed to go to Knowledge last year, but yeah, obviously we all know that it went online. Yeah, and I'm also in Europe and not that long in the ServiceNow space yet. So, but I'm sure somewhere in the future we'll meet. So hopefully Knowledge next year. Who knows? But yeah.
So I would go in Slack is how we've met.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the answer.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know when was the first time. I don't know, but at least obviously last year when Andrew started the Dev MVP program, I was also in the first cohort. So yeah, really nice. And yeah, it's just Andrew always gives a humoristic touch, and it's also a good motivation and always ready to answer questions or to help. So yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, appreciate it a lot.
Well, thank you, sir.
Awesome. Andrew?
I think I met Andrew on Developer Day when he was in India, I guess. So I think it's Bangalore. He was there. He was giving session with Dave Slusher. So that's the first time when I met him.
That was the one you talked
So
about on your podcast.
That was
2 years
August of 19.
19, yeah. August or September.
Yeah. Those are the same thing in my brain. I got the year right. I've got the quarter right. Yeah, that was a great trip. We did 4 cities in India, and Bangalore was one of them, and it was a lot of fun. And I do remember, I even have some pictures of you and I in Bangalore. That was a ton of fun.
You made me take a 2-hour flight to Bangalore. You had in Delhi.
Make you. That was good. Yeah, we didn't make it up to. You're in Delhi, right?
Yeah, only
Yeah,
for
we
next 2-3 months. No, so
we didn't make
don't
it up
plan
to
anything for
that
Delhi.
time.
Awesome. Mark Scott, you're up.
I I've been racking my brain trying to remember, but I can't. And it's not like I don't remember Andrew. It's just, I don't like, it's a feat if I remember like how I met someone. I think Chuck stands among maybe like 10 people, like, cause I remember exactly, I was like in a pre-conference training, right? But like Andrew, I don't quite remember, but I know that 2019, I guess my most remembrance of Andrew is that in 2019, Knowledge 19, there were stickers that were given away that you could adorn your badge with these stickers. And I think I brought 2 sheets of those stickers home somehow, like someone was giving them out. And my kids found them. And to this day, I will still find a random like Andrew Barnes stuck somewhere, like on a piece of artwork or under the fridge, or like I found something under the couch. Like it'll just be him, like staring at me. Yeah. So
That's incredible.
You can thank Maria Gabriella for those. She is Earl is the meme generator and Gabby is the sticker generator.
And they were high quality stickers too, because I mean it's
They
been years.
were
now.
excellent stickers. It was really creepy to see my face on people's badges though. Like that was very strange.
So I think it had its intended effect then.
Yes, I think.
And since we have a smaller audience right now watching this live, I actually printed new Minty Donut stickers this year to give them out at my presentation. Of course, it was virtual. I never actually fell behind. So I have 50 of these things to give out, and I'll mail them in the US. So Andrew, we'll figure out how to go. I'll figure it out for you as well. For the rest of the world, it might be a little harder to get out. But message me in Slack, and I will send you a sticker or 2.
I got a new laptop today that's very naked.
Just message me in Slack, and I'll get you some stickers.
Phil's advocating that people send us the address in like the YouTube chat. I would
Yeah, don't do it in the YouTube
like don't
chat.
do that. Like we'll figure out a way.
A personal DM in Slack just to me, and I'll send it out.
But thanks, Phil.
Awesome. So this is going to be fun. Earl, it looks like you've been keeping up with your drink every time Andrew talks.
It's hard, man. He's been talking a lot. It's really bad. I didn't think he was going to be speaking after every person trying to talk. That's not really great.
Oh, wait till we get to Never Have I Ever.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
I'm so warm right now. It's ridiculous. Andrew, when I was going through the foster system, he took me in. It was a long time ago. If not that, I was going to go with Fortnite. We were a big Fortnite group for a long time. Honestly, it's because I don't actually remember if I've met Andrew in person or not. I don't think I have. I think in like 2017 or 18 Knowledge, that's when I first met Dave Slusher. I met Chuck because he was in the front row of the hackathon judging. And I remember thinking to myself, right when I said what I made, Chuck laughed out loud in the front row, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Wait, I usually laugh at anything, so you don't take it personally.
No, I think it was actually a good laugh, like an egging me on kind of laugh. So that's fine.
That's an awesome thing. Wish I'd made it.
Keep trying,
then-
buddy. Keep trying.
And then Andrew, I met him mostly on Slack through like minds, basically. I'm always the person that everyone thinks that is an admin for the SN Devs group, but I'm not an admin. I get so many pings like, "Hey man, did you see this message that should probably be deleted?" Or, "Hey, can you add this plugin?" I'm like, for all of time, I've never been an admin. Please stop asking me.
You should put that in your
But
bio.
Slacker is an
Slack.
admin, and you make Slacker.
Yeah, though I do probably have a lot more control over the bots than anybody else does. So
Awesome.
I just make stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
Andrew is always the person that is encouraging me along the way. If I really want to be real, Andrew has probably been the most encouraging person to me to be involved in the dev community out of anybody I've ever met. So if it wasn't for Andrew's folding me in on SN Devs, I probably would have never been active in the community at all. And I wouldn't have been a dev MVP for last year or this year. It was always Andrew. So
And that would have been our loss, Earl. if you hadn't been part of the community.
And we, in large part, have Andrew to thank for always making sure I'm part of it. So thanks, Andrew. Love you, man.
That's deep. And now we have to move off deep. Casey, how did you know?
So I met Andrew in the Slack originally. So, basically encouraging me, helping me out. I think in the first few months I was in the Slack, I was a complete noob. I owe most of my career to the Slack and Andrew, pretty much. I was just a lonely single admin in a single company, like nobody else on my team. Mm-hmm. And now I'm a senior engineer. So it's been helping me progress through it. And really it's that I'm still solo engineer, right? I actually have other coworkers in other contracts that I talk to through the day, but the Slack is where I go and it's my family. It's basically, I have a group of 5 or 6 to actually like 15 people, but some of them are absent, AKA, Earl is had a kid and had a new job, so he's not always there. But we have our own little family and we talk to each other all the time. So I knew Andrew before Knowledge, and then at Knowledge, we finally met in person for 2 of them or 3 of them, right? 3 Knowledges now. And then basically Andrew got, introduced me to, I not personally to Chuck, but, through to Chuck, to Josh, to Dave, everybody who holds a corporate card at Knowledge that can pay for your drinks. Andrew introduced you to those before he was a ServiceNow employee, and then he became a ServiceNow employee with the corporate card. So is your new role still good corporate card for drinks at Knowledge? Awesome.
Only if you have a citizen development program, though.
Whose corporate card were you using before you were with ServiceNow, Andrew?
Josh, Dave, and
I'll buy you a drink, Dave. Give me your card.
No, he introduced and was hanging out with them.
This is the paper trail we don't want being broadcast across all of YouTube.
It's the missing link the IRS was looking for those expense reports.
Yeah. And then
if you're looking for a party at Knowledge, yes, I know where to find them. It's true.
And
that's a dangerous thing to admit, Andrew. Like, that's a dangerous thing.
Sorry, Casey.
No, I was just saying, and then when Andrew had to give up admin, to actually, because he's a ServiceNow employee, it wasn't exactly the same time, but he got me in, and I've been admitting this Slack with a couple other people. Maybe we'll get Earl in there one day, but I think he likes his meme title better.
It's almost funnier if I just don't.
Yeah.
Let's just say Earl has admin, but not give it to him.
I'll approve every request that comes in, and nothing will happen. That's great.
There's the evidence for not giving him admin.
Instead of deleting the spam posts, he would just meme him and fight them. Just
hit him to the channels.
Don't make me bring back Random Fridays.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man. That was a great time.
And I think Jace is the only person we haven't heard from.
It's true. I've been trying to think when I first met Andrew, and I'm almost positive it was in Slack, but in person, I have this memory, and I'm not sure if it's Andrew. I think it was in Florida at Knowledge, and he was telling me how Knowledge events are just all about networking. After I had just told him that I love the in-person labs because I get so much out of them. Maybe that wasn't Andrew. I don't know.
Well, that sounds like me.
It does sound like you.
That sounds
like
right.
half the people that go to Knowledge.
Yeah.
But my memory is pretty shoddy about things. So
I don't remember things, but if you tell me a thing, I can tell you whether or not it's a thing that would have happened through me. And that is totally a thing I would say. I was like, you could take that lab guide and do it anytime. Talk to the people in the room during the lab because they know about this lab and the topic that you're interested in. Talk to the people in there and make connections and do the lab later.
Yeah, it was totally you. So
you heard it here first. Andrew Barnes, sign the labs. Don't go. Take the books.
No, still go. Still go. Just don't do it. Yeah.
So
just listen, talk to people, distract everyone around you.
Yeah. Definitely answer the survey and give it a high score. But
that too.
That too.
And I think almost all of us have been at a Knowledge lab and or you're helping everybody else around you that's completely lost. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be the first time I met Andrew, and he has been, like everybody else, always encouraging and always good for feedback. So I've always appreciated that.
And Jace is one of our meetup organizers, and so I have been to 2 of your meetups now. I think, Jace.
I think so. I think you've been to 2 of them.
It's at least 2. It
Been
could have
out
been
here at
3,
least twice.
but it's at least 2.
My
'Cause
memory is pretty terrible too, so I don't know.
I remember one snowy one and one not snowy one, and that's basically all I can store.
And one of
that's
them
everything.
had drinks afterwards.
One snowy one and
Like-
not snowy is entirely all of the things.
Yeah. Yep, that's Minnesota for you.
Awesome. And for me, I think it's been very Slacky as well. I think we started chatting on Slack because I was kind of like Casey. I was either a solo dev or I just moved jobs, and Slack was, yeah, like he said, the ServiceNow family where you go and you make relationships with people and talk about stuff that isn't ServiceNow. But then if you do have a question about ServiceNow, people are there to answer. And I remember getting the email for the first cohort of Dev MVP. It was like, oh, we want you as, I think that the program was called something else at that point. It was like the Dev All Stars. And we were like,
Rip. Rip.
We're like, oh, that's cool. I wonder what it is. And then somebody was like, oh, we should call it MVPs. And then secretly I was like, oh, that's much better because people actually know what MVPs are across different tech organizations.
We still have the logos
I don't know.
that Gabby made for All Stars.
But it's not tech organizations, Andrew. It's culture, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know what an all-star is.
Mm. But if I put that on LinkedIn,
Mark's like, I know what an all-star is.
Recruiters trying
But
to talk
okay, but that's not any as that's even like less region specific in my opinion than Guru, right? People put that all over LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm still Team All Star. So
And I
I
think,
think I'm the only person that didn't announce on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Was such a good time. I was so excited.
Mm.
The reason that I liked All Star and the naming was a struggle for that cross region recognizability and visibility there. But the thing I liked about it was it gave us the opportunity to think of things that could fit, because constraints are where creativity live. Like getting a constraint, then you can like focus in on the creativity inside of those constraints, and because you have walls and guidance. And so I was going to do an all-star theme and do stuff like trading cards, like rookie trading cards for your first year of being an MVP, and passing those around at Knowledge, and having a game around who could collect all of the rookie MVPs. And
Yeah.
like the creativity of the constraint of All-Star was the interesting bit. And that was worth it to me for the recognizability of MVP versus All-Star. We did make the decision to go with MVP so that it would be consistent across the community and the developer area. And I think that's the right decision, but I liked the All-Star for that constraint of the giving a place for creativity, because MVP doesn't give you any like constraints as far as creativity goes. So you have to make up other ones and
Sure
generate
does.
them.
You're all minimum viable products.
Yeah, you're just good enough.
And Andrew's love for Smash Mouth is well known.
Awesome. So
Could have put some NFTs on the trading cards. Yeah. Very good.
I want to point out, and I know Chuck and Brad already kind of think about this, but that Andrew, that was just like opening up your brain and kind of like showing us this picture of like this third level of dimension that you're always kind of sitting in, right? Where it's not just building a technical solution or knowing what a script include does and all this stuff. It's like that third level of thinking that that we're all going to miss, right? Because like that was the experience, like that was the big thing that we really appreciated. Like you were always thinking about us and, you know, putting us at the top of mind. So I, you know, just wanted to point that out. It was funny that you kind of, you know, you betrayed yourself a little bit there. I appreciate it.
The alcohol.
Awesome. Andrew Barnes, do you have any particular fun stories that you would like to pass on to the greater audience? Maybe something funny that happened at Knowledge that you haven't talked about yet, or one of those after conference, like, oh, I got in a fight with someone because Remedy isn't good, that sort of thing.
Oh, an open
That coulda
constraint
happened
for
at
me to
Knowledge
tell a
14.
story. Oh, Knowledge 14 being my first knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
When I was newly running, I took oversight of a Remedy system. So I was running enterprise applications, and Knowledge 14 was my first one. And that was a ton of fun. The BMC hecklers, though, was very off-putting to existing BMC customers. So good job, guys, because that didn't help.
We were constantly riding around the Moscone Center in pedicabs that were decked out with BMC stickers.
And they were on Segways.
Oh, yeah.
And just like standing there on their Segway, like telling you you're stupid for considering ServiceNow. Like it was horrible.
How'd that work out for you, BMC?
Yeah, I didn't feel good about it, and I was seriously considering staying on Remedy at that point. So that was not good for them. From Knowledge 14, though, I think the most interesting thing in Knowledge 14 was I met up with some people because that's what I do, and ended up with Gene Kim, who wrote the Phoenix Project.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the book, and we ended up going to Fruition was sponsoring a party at Alcatraz, and Gene Kim and I and a lady from a training company got together, and we're going to this party, and we end up like driving the ferry on the way there. And that was a lot of fun. And so that was my Knowledge 14 excitement. But the story I want to tell is actually, well, I would have loved to have one about Brad on traveling, but I do have one with Dave. When we went to India and we're in Bangalore, so we've flown, across the world, and we're going to go give some workshops. And on the flight there, we realized that the mobile workshop that we're about to give is for the previous version. And we didn't want to do an old workshop. And the architecture in the mobile had changed so much between, I think it was
Madrid and New York.
I think it was Madrid and New York. Yeah. And it had changed drastically enough that we didn't want to give the older one. And so Dave and I rewrote that workshop. So we had a little time before the workshop started, because we planned it for traveling across the world. And so we didn't drive right into the workshops. But we worked recreating those labs for that event so much that and Dave, forgive me, we're working in hotel lobbies, and we're just working all day long on this, and it's super late, and Dave is working at his laptop, and he falls asleep and hits his head on the chair, and then wakes up and keeps working. And then when he did it a second time, I told him we had to go to bed. Because that's how the advocate team roles, because we could have just given it a workshop the way it was. It would have been fine. No one would have been upset with us. We could have done it, but instead we rewrote the whole thing to make it a better experience, and sacrificed our time and Dave's head to make a better workshop. And that's what I'm going to miss about this team and this community. Not that I'm leaving the community, I'm still here, still going to be around, but that's my fun story.
Awesome. Yeah, we've heard some war stories through the advocate team, so it's interesting to get the first person perspective. I've asked chat if they had any questions. The first question comes from Earl, or currently named entirely AJB's fault. And he says, "How dare you?" So do you have a response for that?
Because it was fun.
How dare you leave? Is that what the?
No, it just said, "How dare I?" And the reason is because it was fun or it was logical. Those are the answers.
Fun and logical. And do you have any retort? Entirely AJB's fault?
I do not accept that response.
Who approved this request?
That'd be Earl.
That'd be Earl. Admin Earl approves the request.
This new admin access, yeah.
He hacked the system. Right click, approve.
That's a new one, Earl. I've not seen Pirate
Rainbow.
Pirate Rainbow yet.
Wait, did I make a picture of you and never post it anywhere?
It is now the fairy pilot picture.
That's like
the
writing
meme generator is so strong with this one.
Wait, do I have just random pictures of Andrew on my computer that I've been photoshopping and I never posted?
That's getting creepy, Earl. It's getting creepy.
Andrew is everywhere. He's under my fridge. He's in Earl's folders.
I legit have a folder that just says AJB pictures.
TMI.
Oh,
that's amazing.
That's good, Earl.
No, you should share that. Not too much information. Just keep sharing.
Yeah, keep sharing. That's great.
All right, let me look for more.
All right. The next question kind of segues into that. What is your favorite AJB emoji thing on Slack?
Oh, that is right. There's a lot of like emoji things with AJB's face on it.
Yeah.
Is the question directed at me?
Yes.
My favorite one has got to be the Party Parrot one. Because that one's great. Because I love Party Parrot. It has been replaced as my favorite with the Party Dinosaur, because that one is just a smoother animation, and that's a smooth animation, the Party Dinosaur. But I rocked the Party Parrot for a long time, and so the Party Parrot with my face smacked onto it is hilarious.
That was also me. That was also me.
The one that makes me the most sad, though, is the mobility AJB from when I had my broken foot for Knowledge 19, and
that's right. You were scootering around.
I had a little push scooter that I was using for Knowledge, which was not exciting.
It was also
Knowledge with a broken foot is not exciting.
Earl's an opportunist.
But that's my least favorite, but I love that it exists. One is the mobility one.
Awesome. Somebody in chat, Stephen Robinson, has said that he wants to let you know that we're all still sad that you've abandoned us.
Oh, that's the last team I abandoned. Ow. Oh, okay. It hurts.
I didn't know that.
I mean, isn't it kind of like you're just continuing on with this new role? Like,
sure, but Steven gets to be salty.
Sort of yeah, I can't blame him.
Because I left him in Novant Health, which is a fantastic company, and I was sad to leave them, and I still love them very greatly.
But they're your client now, right? Because they have a huge citizen dev.
I
Practice.
may be working with them in my new role. Yes, it is entirely possible.
So you've orchestrated.
Steven's got nothing to talk
So-
about then. You're coming back. It's a return. Prodigal
He's
son.
turning the AJB.
They already know all his tells when he's lying.
I have little guile in me, which makes me a great advocate, because when a thing is not good, I'm like, well, that's not very good. We should have made it better.
Yep.
I have very little guile.
Awesome. Next question. Are there any dev program initiatives that never really saw the light of day that you regret?
Before the end of that statement, I was like, oh goodness, the amount of
Well-
things that never see the light of day is a lot.
Yeah, what was your
that I
favorite
regret?
that you regret
Hmm.
not seeing the light of day, I'm guessing?
It's a good question. I don't know that I have one off the top of my head. We have a lot of the dev program has got a lot of flexibility to try things out and do things, and so we try and fail fast. And I don't know that there's something that I regret not doing.
What would you have liked to have seen get going? Oh, there's the parrot, party parrot.
The most distracting thing I've ever seen.
Ow.
That'll haunt your dreams, won't
It's cute when it's an emoticon. It's a little scarier when it's
Yeah.
Background.
I'm sorry, I found the original resolution of what I did.
4K right there.
Oh,
Party
that
dinosaurs
was great.
next.
That was great.
Andrew, I would have, just to throw 2 cents in the pot, the data pill idea we had earlier this year for a short news segment, we just ran out of bandwidth to do it. We wanted to do like a week or every 2 weeks,
Oh, that was
do a 2 or 3 minute news segment where we say, hey, here's the tweet of the week, and here's the events that are coming up that you should watch for. Kind of like a video newsletter, but in a much shorter, easy to digest format. And we put together a couple prototypes, but we're not able to come back to it because the tidal wave that is Knowledge and CreatorCon just consumed us. And then when we came back, like, well, maybe if we get a couple more people on the team, we can look at that again.
That was a good one, but that one's sort of like paused for a little resources. So yeah, that's an excellent one, Chuck. Thanks for reminding me of that. I don't have the greatest memory, and so I don't think about roads not taken very often because I don't remember them. But with that, I think the thing I most regret is not figuring out a way to better engage with like upcoming communities, like potentially universities, to bring on more ServiceNow developers. So I think we've got some things now finally at ServiceNow that are doing a good job with that with the next gen team. But I'd like to have worked with them more closely and done some more things like that to promote ServiceNow development for new and emerging, folks looking to grow into something like ServiceNow. And so if there's a regret, that's probably the one that will win for me.
That's pretty.
Doesn't mean we can't do it. Just means we didn't accomplish it while I was here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good. I like it.
That's kind of the opposite to the next question from Nia. What's your proudest accomplishment as a dev advocate?
This right here, you folks.
The fake
I was
live
gonna say,
Zoom
this
happy hour.
Zoom.
You heard it first.
So the developer MVPs, I think, is something that we needed to do, and we did it, and it's been great, and it's helped encourage. It's having a multiplicative effect, which is, when you only have 2 or 3 people on a team, you need to have multiplying effects. And so I think the developer MVP program is probably the single biggest impact thing that I've done as a developer advocate. I think my biggest contribution to the developer ecosystem in ServiceNow, though, is Slack. So I invested so much time in Slack and helping grow the community there from day one of Slack. So that's what took me to being a developer advocate at ServiceNow. Was all of that engagement in the Slack community, and it really is a great community, and so that's, I think, my largest accomplishment in the ecosystem. But the MVP program, which if for some reason you're watching this and you don't know what it is, head over to the blog developer.servicenow.com, check out the MVP tag in the blog, and learn what it's about. But these folks on here are the developer MVPs. There are 24 of them this year. Next year, I assume there's going to be even more. And there are real champions of our community, because you folks are awesome, and you share and collaborate and make our whole community better. And that's what makes me happy and proud of our community, is how caring we are of each other and for each other, because it is also self-serving to each other. Like, it helps. Having a strong community around a thing actually helps you. So contributing is helpful to you. It's not a one-way street. And that's my favorite.
Awesome. A question from Phil Goes Deep. Where's the swag? So for those of you who don't know, out in the chat, even last year, this year, we were all promised like an MVP jacket, and it hasn't materialized yet. And there's a bit of a running joke where every time we're talking to Andrew or Brad or anyone from the developer program, we sort of say, oh, where's the swag? And the answer is usually always locked in some office in America somewhere, waiting for decontamination.
Actually, the real answer is Andrew has been our swag this whole time.
So
he's taking it with him.
Andrew is the swag.
I've taken all the swag. It's mine. That was great, Bill. You can't get by without answering the questions about the swag.
I honestly think it's going to get like ingrained in like the culture, right? Like, where it's just going to, every year, like the knowledge greeting won't be like hello, it'll be like, where's the swag?
Where's the
like
swag?
It's just going to start like disseminating. Everyone's going to start saying it to each other.
You have one of those signposts.
How long did your swag take to get to you? That'll be how you know which MVP year you were, because the initial cohort gets to say like, it was 17 months for us. Oh, you were the initial cohort.
Yeah, it's not like what was your first ServiceNow release at meetups? Now it's going to be, how long did it take to get your swag?
Great Corona swag shortage.
Hopefully we'll have those 2020 MVP jackets to wear at Knowledge 22.
Oh, that would be amazing. Just stack them on 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, in Florida.
In the Florida heat.
Oh yeah, in Florida.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll definitely need a jacket in Florida in May.
Well, maybe inside. The air conditioning will be very cold.
A couple more questions. What's the hardest part about wrangling the motley crew of developer MVPs? And that's followed up by, please rank the MVPs from favorite to least favorite.
Oh my. That's not fair.
There is no difficult part for wrangling the MVPs. It's a joy and pleasure. It's not a difficult part. It's great. There's no difficulty there at all. Ranking them in order, though. Well, I'll elaborate on the difficult part just because everybody likes a more interesting answer than there's not. Keeping plans realistic. but I like to dream big also. So, but if I had to throw a thing on there, keeping things to actual like things that can be done. Yeah, that might be the only difficult part, but that's not a difficult part. That's a good thing. Like, you're supposed to imagine a bigger thing and then work within the constraints
And hit the minimum
later.
viable product.
Yeah. And ranking them, that's funny. That's what the point system is for.
On Slack.
Does it alternate with the point system every 30 days like the points do? Or are you a running tally for total?
I'm a 90-day running average kind of guy. What have you done
Very
for me
optimistic.
lately?
All right, I have a pull request for the Slacker bot.
Nothing good's
approved.
gonna come of this. Nothing
Approved.
good.
Approved.
Nothing good.
Mm-mm.
So out of the top
I-
10, it'll say Andrew's favorite and then Andrew's least favorite.
Yep.
I do appreciate the folks that did participate in the hackathon. So I'm going to call out Phil and Earl in particular because they live streamed their whole hackathon, and that was magical. And
Kill me.
yes, it was great to alternate listening in to Phil and Earl's streams. That was really great. I enjoyed that. Earl was doing it. Several people streamed this year. Last year, it was all Earl, and he did it all in virtual reality, which that was crazy. So that of the recent, like I said, what have you done for me lately? The hackathon was the most recent thing. Those two people really entertained me and helped me keep going because I was up for way too long during the hackathon because I did all the office hours in that 24-hour period. And then we did all the judging and carried through the hackathon. And Phil and Earl helped me get through that because they were entertaining to me. And I needed that. So, and it was good for the community. Like, I'm always like, how many things was this good for? And it was good for lots of things, not just me.
I mean, I mentioned earlier how supportive Andrew is, and he, even in that, going 18 hours into a stream or something, and nobody was there, nobody was chatting. And then I just talk into the nether about a problem I'm seeing on my screen. And then I thought nobody was there. This is 18 hours in. Andrew goes, "Have you tried this?" And I'm like, "No." So very supportive. He's not kidding.
Awesome. Well, we are rounding out the hour part of the live coding happy hour that hasn't had any code and has been kind of, sad a little bit in saying
Sad hour. It's not the happy hour.
sad.
It's sad hour.
so.
All happy.
Like, part of me wants to let's all hold hands and sing a song, but that's probably not going to go well. So I think chat, everyone, Earl especially, has expressed the feeling of how supportive you've been and how amazing it's been to have you kind of spearheading the community, the Slack channel, the MVPs. You've been a rock there for us whenever we've gone through any hard times with our careers, with our development, when we've been stuck on certain projects and you've popped into Slack and said, "Oh, how's it going?" And you're going, "Oh, it's kind of crappy." And you're like, "Well, no, it's actually good." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I guess it is good then." That's the sort of feelings that I personally get from having you around as a friend. So thank you very much, Andrew. If everyone wants to turn on their mics and just say thanks, we will probably end it there.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yay,
Good luck.
thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you all.
Andrew.
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congrats on the new
congrats, man.
Can't wait to see what you make in your new position. Happen.
Thanks so much. Bye, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
We'll see you later.
Bye.